What a strange, strange show this was. Equal parts really, really good, and other times, oh boy, WWE's kind of stuck in a bit of a rut, aren't they? That being said, there are a lot of noteworthy things to talk about. Let's get to it, shall we? I'm Jarl Retton with my review, WWE Raw from Orlando, Florida. We're on our way to Elimination Chamber in Montreal, dramatic pause, Canada. And then we're on the show to WrestleMania. I think that's how that goes. One thing, I hate the Raw theme. I'm going to keep saying that. I hate the Raw theme, I hate the SmackDown theme, I hate the NXT theme. Look, if you're going to have rap involved in wrestling, have good rap, not this shit rap, because otherwise, it just proves the West Texas rednecks were correct. Oh, I hate rap. Oh, rap is crap. Oh, I hate rap. And actually, there's a lot of really good rap out there. This just ain't it, Chief. Boy, I sound so white saying that. Edge and Beth Phoenix out to a big pop. Beth looks great. Edge looks great. Edge making, his 20th return in 3 years. I know he has limited dates, needs to preserve his body, and he's near the end of the road. I mean, as our Lord and Savior's Boys to Men once said, boy, Michael Jackson was disappointed when he found out that was just the name of a group, but I digress. We are coming to the end of the road. I mean, Edge is probably going to be done by SummerSlam, or whenever his contract's up. And look, yeah, it keeps his appearances special, but he'll be around and he'll get injured. And he'll, injured. Then he'll be around, then he'll get injured. And then he'll just come back, and it's cool. He even joked about the fact that he makes so many comebacks. They also pitched to a package talking about Extreme Rules when Rhea was going to cave Beth's head in. And then Edge said, I quit. And then he did come back, and he came back at the Rumble. Big pop, all that. And yeah, it's cool, and I like Edge. And I know he doesn't have a lot of time left, but kind of over this, and also the fact that, I hate to say it, but the Judgment Day feud isn't good. It's not good. The group isn't good. I don't enjoy it. He says, for the third time in months, Judgment Day is my fault. Yes, Edge, we know you made it. I get it. I like Edge. He is one of the best of the last 20 or so years. But god damn it. Beth fires up, and then Judgment Day interrupts, and oh boy. Dominic's here. It's got to be just a running gag that they think this guy's so terrible on the mic and terrible in the ring. It makes David Flair now seem competent by comparison in the ring. And David hasn't wrestled since, 2003? Edge did mention how basically Dominic was a sub in prison. And no, that's not a euphemism. It's, it's something else. That being said, this was bullshit and stagey is what I basically said. Because I don't care about this feud. I don't mind some of the people involved. Priest sounds, booming whenever he talks. But then we, mixed tag match at Elimination Chamber. Okay, cool, we're getting that. We're getting Balor and Rhea, I believe, against Edge and Beth. And then here's Dawkins to even the odds because we get a bit of a beatdown. Montez Ford, for whatever reason, does the weird Bugs Bunny sneak up thing. We just need the Bugs Bunny sneaking up music. Now I need to rewatch the Screaming Skull MST3K episode. If you get it, you get it. And he scares Dominic, and then Dominic gets hit with the Grand Slam. No, not like that sign falling on that family in Kentucky. Boy, I am going so goddamn to hell there. The Glam Slam. I'm sorry, but she lifted him up with ease. It's hard to pick up a sack of shit when, it's basically a sack of shit. You don't want to deal with it. No, I don't care for Dominic. That being said, there were elements that were fine. I'm sick of this feud, though. It's not good. So we get Dawkins versus Priest, Chamber Qualifier. There were moments that weren't bad. It did pick up a little bit later on. Dawkins is a very good wrestler, and considering that he was in WWE developmental for quite a while until, he struck gold with the Street Profits. However, I feel about the team in general, I feel that their whole gimmick, their shtick maybe played out. They're over, and Dawkins showed off, and they did some decent stuff here. By the way, we did have footage of Pierce getting officials out there to get everybody away from ringside. Everybody. So they wrestled in front of no fans. I kid. Nobody that was involved in the big old fracas, not brackus, was allowed there. So they just did. The piped-in crowd noise. Was it just how the mic sounded on, it came across on TV? Because I'm not saying the crowd didn't pop at all night. There were just moments where it seemed like very obvious dubbed-in crowd noise. Genuine question. For anybody that was there in attendance, was it loud in the arena, or did they dub in the crowd noise? I'm actually curious. Priest dominates, but we go to the break. Chrisley knows best. They're having ads while in prison. I hope Todd has made the prison bitch and him and his wife aren't able to even come out of prison in one piece. They don't deserve it. The kids deserve to be jailed. The mother deserves to be locked up in the Egyptian tomb that she crawled out of. And heck with it. Just put the pets in good homes. So, we get a senton by Dawkins. That was pretty nice. And then we got a big old chokeslam. South of Heaven! Instead of Southland Tales, which is probably good. That was a weird movie The Rock was in. 1, 2, 3. So there you go. Priest advances. Theory driving to the arena in a very expensive sports car. And then suddenly Pierce has Maxine and Maximum Male Models sign on the dotted line. They're going to be part of the Raw brand. Further cementing the fact that this show can not be pulled from the air soon enough, or that this company can't be sold soon enough. Oh, wait, I wrote that down because Chelsea Karen Green showed up. There are people that may find this entertaining. I don't, because it's forced and stagey, and they need to fire every single writer that they have. Send them to Hollywood to do some shit, because they don't need that many writers. They do have a huge roster of wrestlers. I'm not saying you don't need people to do some scripted verbiage, or some bullet points, but you don't need so many writers. You don't need that. I don't know what Pierce did to deserve this. Then we get recaps of Sammy's attack and return on Roman and his subsequent beatdown, how Roman says he's going to embarrass him in front of his friends, in front of his family, in front of his father, in front of all these people. Sorry, Chris Adams from 1985 took over all of a sudden. Thankfully, not Chris Adams, as far as relationships go. If you know, you know. Dexter and Loomis, where Gargano took on Barry Corbin, as I'm going to continue to call him, with JBL. Oh, hell no. Graves' commentary is abysmal. Steve Patrick is not necessarily great, but good God. I mean, replace him with Vic Joseph, I say. But, no, I don't care. Because I just don't. I don't care about any of the people involved. And I like Dexter. He's a fine talent. Gargano is never going to be above this part on the card. Nor should he be, honestly, because he was with the company for so long. Even though he was gone for roughly a year, he almost feels like a relic of the past, doesn't he? Loomis wins. Nobody cares. JBL looks disappointed. I'd be disappointed, too, if I was a goddamn idiot like JBL. Even with the money, the guy's still a stupid motherfucker. Becky says, I've got a hand to play. I've got a little ace in the hole, for Bailey. So there you go. Bork Lando, because the Bork Laser is here, the Brock Cowboy. He is here, big old feather in his hat, and he talks about Bobby who? Bobby Lashley. I wasn't able to hunt, wasn't able to ice fish. I had crawled into bed with my wife, and 4 or 5 hours later, all I could think of was Bobby Lashley. Being around Sable for 5 goddamn minutes sounds like a goddamn chore and a nightmare. It's like, I don't know what they got for putting a live microphone in front of Sable, one person once said, but it should have been 3 to 5 years. So anyway, here's a multi-million-dollar contract, Lesnar says, and Bobby just needs to sign it. And then Bobby shows up, says, I'll have my lawyers and manager and everybody look at it. Lesnar's like, that's not good enough because they're going to face off at Elimination Chamber. They're going to have a fracas, a big old, brawl, but they're actually going to lead to Mania, I have a feeling. And then Lesnar's like, I'll just F5 him in this night's suit. And the crowd's chanting one more time, so he F5s him again. Okay. I'm not necessarily that in tune with seeing them fight again. I think they've done just about everything they can, but that being said, they're probably going to blow this off at Mania, hopefully, because neither of these guys really have that much time left. Lashley has a little bit more. Bork just doesn't feel like he does. Maybe another year. And Dexter apparently drew a pic of Candice and the family, and also Nikki Cross peering in the corner, because Nikki Cross is peering in the corner because of the whole thing with Nikki Ash, and Nikki has never been the same since Candice did that and made her, lose the mask and all that and whatever. And why is this on television? Carmella makes her entrance at 6:11 p.m. There are very badly staggered breaks and everything, and it's Carmella, Pippa Niven, Mia Yim, Mi Chin, Mia Yim. That is so stupid. Just Mia Yim. That's her name. And Candice. It's a Rumble qualifier. We're going back to the Rumble. No, it's an Elimination Chamber qualifier. Okay. I feel bad for what Carmella went through in the fall. If you know, you know. Very personal thing. I mean, it was posted about on their social media. And I feel bad for that. No person should have to go through that. Now, as far as a wrestling character, she's not good. She's not good. She feels like a relic. Like, she just does. She doesn't fit in at all. She's not very good. She won this match. The breaks were horribly staggered. She's not going to win the goddamn chamber, nor should she, because even if they didn't have Asuka in there, even if Carmella was the only person in the chamber, somebody else should beat her, because Carmella at this point shouldn't be featured in a championship feud. She just shouldn't, because she's not that good anymore. Again, I feel bad for what the person herself went through. But I can't ignore what's right in front of me. JBL blows up Barry Corbin. The Hurt Business is in the back talking. Well, MVP's got Shelton and Cedric. And Barry's like, oh, I'll change. He's like, you can't polish a turd. I've tried. If that wasn't, well, kind of a metaphor for some parts of Raw, I don't know what is. Then Piper attacks Candice, and Mia Yim interrupts. I'm glad that they're giving the women stuff to do, but Piper just, I don't know, hey, thank God Nia Jax isn't back. She hasn't been seen since that one appearance at the Rumble. Hopefully she isn't back, because honestly, nobody really wants to see Nia Jax, because she deserves every bit of ridicule that she ever got. And then some, because she's an anti-vax bitch. And a moron, and doesn't understand how to wrestle. And she's basically melted Twizzlers for all kinds of joints and ACLs and everything, and she can't move. Why was she there? I assume just to get a payoff and for everybody to beat the shit out of her, because reasons? Hell, you could have just had Charlotte Flair in there. And Charlotte could have been in there for 10, 15 minutes and then could have done some, I don't know. Shelton and Cedric with MVP took on Alpha Academy. I thought Shelton got legit hurt at one point. I think he got the wind knocked out of him, but he seemed fine. And hey, a lumbar check, and Gable took the pin in a tag match. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Just lay down next time, Gable. Just lay down for every single... He can wrestle. He is never going to get beyond this, and the shoosh thing is stupid. Though I did like the Blink 180 shoosh line that he did with Elias and Riddle a number of months. Speaking of Riddle, you want to talk about somebody who's just not going to live to see 40, take a look at that guy. Crack, meth, I don't know what the hell that is, but it feels like his career is being drug along for a while, if you get what I'm saying. Kathy Kelly, my goodness, Kathy Kelly. Miz is interrupted by Rick Boogs. Then Miz knocks Pierce, calling him incompetent. And then Pierce shows up. The staginess of the fact that, oh yeah, his office is right behind him, and Miz is like, he's right behind me, isn't he? He didn't say it, but he had that look. A rematch next week. What is Boogs' character supposed to be? Chelsea Green then asks for an opponent, or she'll speak to the manager. Get it, because she's a Karen, because it's funny. It's funny. It's not funny. Ozzy Osbourne, Grammy plug. Generals gathering their masses. He can't see without his glasses. And now my girl is ruined for you forevermore. Stupid little shit deserved that. He should have known not to go near a goddamn beehive. So, Chelsea Green is in the ring to face Asuka. I would run through a brick wall for this woman. For Asuka, not for Chelsea Green. Talking Chelsea Green probably be like talking to a brick wall. I'm sorry. Liv, Raquel, Natty, and various others just are around ringside all of a sudden. Jesus, Natty was just putting them right out there. Hard to ignore. Natty's a very attractive woman and a very talented wrestler, but can't ignore what I see with my eyes. Asuka. Asuka was good. Chelsea Green had to basically use the advantage by beating her down and, attacking her from behind. And Asuka won. Okay, cool. All right. That's fine. I mean, Asuka, of course, is going to win. Because she bend me like that. Moving on. Bianca shows up. Praises all 6 of them, but says, which one of you will win the chamber and which one of you will face off against me? It's going to be Asuka. And Asuka should beat her. And if Asuka only holds it, till SummerSlam, that's fine. Bianca losing at Mania will be fine because she's held it for basically a year. It works. I thought they were going to go with Bianca and Rhea, but they're not. That's all right. Just don't go with anybody else. Just go with Asuka. Because I don't know who the hell else you have her face. Unless you have her face Liv Morgan on Mania, and I don't see that being a Mania match. No disrespect to either of them. I think Asuka's going to be the one to face off against Bianca. If they have Liv do it, that'd be cool, but I think it's going to be Asuka. And here's Presidential Roads for... Okay. Full disclosure, I laugh at most every Cody promo. Because I'm sorry, but they're so workshopped and so stagey and so whatever. And it's so... Yes, there's elements of realism in there. Nothing is different about his presentation from AEW to WWE, except there's no Brandy, thank God, and there's no entourage. But he's just, nothing about his promos feel authentic. Yes, there was one actual particular part in this that did feel authentic, but it doesn't feel genuine with Cody. He drips with insincerity. He talks about various things, he addresses the Sammy chance, says, hey, Sammy could win, I'd be honored to face him, or I'll face Roman Reigns, it doesn't matter. My path is clear, but we'll have to see after Elimination Chamber who I will face. And Heyman shows up, hyping up a fight like only he can. Rhodes then Cody mentions how in 2000 the Rhodes family is really, really broke. Somehow, I've heard some of the story, I've never heard exactly how they ended up broke. But Heyman asked Dusty to appear in ECW, and that if he did, he would pay him well. And that was in the spring or summer of 2000. I'm trying to remember. He faced Steve Corino, I know that. Living Dangerously 2000, I think it might have been what it was. But they faced, if I got the pay-per-view wrong, I'm sorry. My ECW knowledge gets a little bit jumbled. But I know he faced him, and I know it was a big goddamn deal, and Heyman lived up to his word and paid somebody what he owed them. Probably out of respect for Dusty, going back to the days when Heyman was there in a closed meeting trying to learn from Dusty while he was doing photography for the WWF at the time. But ECW gave my father his confidence back, and Heyman was emotional. Heyman even mustered up and I believe that was genuine, because Heyman, for all his faults and all his lying and all that stuff, is a student of the game and would appreciate what people have done for him and what wrestlers paved the way. And then Heyman building up a fight like only he could. He mentions Rollins. He mentions Dusty preparing people. And how Cody could be the best and Cody needed to stand on his own and all that. Cody, you were his favorite son. Dustin's looking the fuck. What the fuck did I do? My chopped liver. But Roman was a son he always wanted. Turn it around like that, and then Cody, and this is where Cody lost me. Cody, of all people, saying, I'm just trying to win a wrestling championship, but everyone else keeps trying to make it personal. Cody, you invoke your dad's name a whole lot, and you invoke a whole bunch of other stuff, and you keep invoking. All this. Pot calling the kettle black much? Really? Really? There were good parts of this, but I'm sorry. I can't ignore how I feel about Cody. Yeah, he tore his pec. He's done a whole bunch of stuff. And yes, he's tough. He's not authentic. That parts of it were, but as far as a wrestling character and everything, he's not authentic. Then Montez Ford beat Elias in Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Austin Theory is on commentary. Quote Robert O'Neill 31, I got a theory, this guy stinks. Theory's fine in the ring, I don't care. If Theory's one of their stars of the future, I don't know how much longer I'm going to review this stuff. So, I don't know why Montez Ford and Elias did that drop spot on the steps. Ford won, and I gotta ask this. Are they building Ford and Theory for Mania? That would be interesting. Montez Ford possibly getting a big win. Doesn't seem like Ali's going to get it. Maybe we get Ford, Theory, Ali, and Ziggler in a match. And we just get everybody on the goddamn card. So, Seth Pheasant Rollins, whoa, in something that, a cabaret version of the Secret Garden, you know, yeah, that's something that you probably would see there. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm very tired. He trips him up and attacks him. We get all this going on. I don't really know what the hell was going on there. We get a break at 7:33. The cage is lowering. We get a next week rundown. Bayley entrance is 7:38. Becky entrance 7:40. We go to another break in the last, 16 minutes? Is a steel cage match. Becky and Bayley with Dakota Kai apparently dealing with a knee injury. I hope it's not too severe. I mean, she's able to be on crutches and be there, so I guess it sort of makes... I guess it's not that bad. And Io... Jesus, I was distracted by how Io looked. Good grief, Io looked great. Bayley and Becky, they did some good stuff here. Becky kept talking about that ace in the hole. What could the ace in the hole be? Some good action here. Grinding her face into the cage, and then she kept bashing her into the wall. Too many pronouns, pal. Kept bashing and bashing. They bashed each other. We got a Bayley to belly off of the ropes. And then Becky and Bayley are fighting up top. We get almost a disarm her in the cage meshing. And then what else do we get? We are getting Io Sky jumping up top. We get Io Sky jumping up top. And then we even get the producer somehow graciously opening the door here. So because he decided to open the door, the producer's going to chime in here. You're going to chime in here. And you're going to talk about, hey, you put those claws away, mister. You're going to talk about the cage match. Because you saw this. You saw this. You saw that Io Sky was going to jump off and do something. But then Io Sky didn't. Dakota handed Bayley her crutch. And then suddenly the music of Lita. Do 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 do. So fuck your rules, man. So fuck your rules, man. Hey. Hi. So anyway, Lita comes down and attacks Io, and he gets some action with the door and everything and all that, and the door gets slammed into Bayley. Manhandle slam. 1, 2, 3. Big pop. Dakota was safely laid out because she's injured. And there you go. Lita and Becky are celebrating. Somebody has suggested Becky, Lita, and Trish against Damage Control at Elimination Chamber. I think Dakota's still going to be too injured at that point. Do it at Mania. Why the hell not? That would be fine. Anyway, the producer's chomping away, and he's probably going to chomp away at my head here after this. But agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.